in her question. And one of her question was, do you think that if Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was become the first Khalifa, would it have been any different? I think no. Ali ibn Abi Talib would have done exactly what Abu Bakr Siddiq did, and that's what he was trying to do as well in his time when he did in Little Baghi Muawiyah do what he's like, what he likes, and he went there to fight him, and he didn't just let him go. Like same Abu Bakr Siddiq as well, when it was al-Hurub al-Radda, people tell him not to fight, but he said, no, I will fight them. I will do exactly what Rasulullah would have done, and that's what Ali would have done. And this all four people, to me, they are all just the same. Like even when you look to see Abu Bakr and you try to read about him, you don't actually read a lot about him. What you read is what happened in his time, what achievement he's done. So that is maybe the difference. As Ali ibn Abi Talib said that Abu Bakr Siddiq had people like me, but me, I had people like you. So the only difference between Abu Bakr Siddiq and Ali ibn Abi Talib is the people who was following him. And just the hadith al-Ghadeer, actually I've never heard that hadith. I heard it only one time from your show, from one of your show. So I did the research on it, and the hadith is Sahih. There is no problem with that as well. Okay. But when you say Mawla, you yourself said that there is over 20 meaning in Arabic for Mawla. So why do you choose only this one as a Khalifa? Why? I don't understand that. And if it was that exactly what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam meant, and that he wanted Ali ibn Abi Talib to be his Khalifa, why just say it only one time?
Why say it one time?
Yeah, why say it just one time? You've got something like Ahl Sunnah, we know hadith called Dua al-Haja, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to start all his khutbah with. I mean, he must have said this hadith over 1,000 times. Sure. I heard that there is over 300 narrators who said this hadith. And then you come into something as important as al-wilaya to your belief. He said only once. I can't understand that. And to the Sheikh, there said when he said the gathering in al-Ghadeer was not much different to the khutbah al-wada'. No, it was much different.
Okay. All right, thank you. Keep watching, inshallah. Al-Hajj will respond to your questions after the break. Thank you very much for calling in. Join us in a couple of minutes. Assalamu alaikum.
وأما حق الرحم فحق أمك أن تعلم أنها حملتك حيث لا يحمل أحد أحدا وأطعمتك من ثمرة قلبها ما لا يطعم أحد أحدا وأنها وقتك بسمعها وبصرها ويدها ورجلها وشعرها وبشرها وجميع جوارحها مستبشرة فرحة محتملة لما فيه مكروهها وألمها وثقلها وغمها حتى دفعتها عنك يد القدرة وأخرجتك إلى الأرض فرضيت أن تشبع وتجوع هي وتكسوك وتعرى وترويك وتظمى وتظلك وتضحى وتنعمك ببؤسها وتلذذك بالنوم بأرقها وكان بطنها لك وعاء وحجرها لك حواء وثديها لك سقاء ونفسها لك وقاء تباشر حر الدنيا وبردها لك ودونك فتشكرها على قدر ذلك، ولا تقدر عليه إلا بعون الله وتوفيقه.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Ahlul Bayt live on this Thursday evening. Our guest this evening is Al-Hajj Maqbool Rahim, and our discussion tonight is on the personality of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and we will try and dedicate a little bit of time towards the end, at least to maybe mention some of his merits, if we get the time, inshallah. But prior to the break, we had a caller who called in, and once again, we thank the brother for his points and questions. The first one was that I'd like you to respond to was that he felt that if Ali alayhi salam had become the first caliph, he would have acted in pretty much the same way as the first caliph.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting question and an important question. I am reminded of the time when in the Shura of Hazrat Omar, he left a Shura to decide who the successor to him should be. And one of the options which was put to our holy Imam, Imam Ali alayhi salam, was that you follow the Quran, the Sharia, the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, and Sunnah of the Shaykhain. And he said, no, I will follow the Quran and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet and my own judgment on the matter. So essentially, that indicates to me that there may have been some variations in approaches between Imam Ali's approach and the approach of Hazrat Abu Bakr and Hazrat Omar and Hazrat Osman. This is speculative analysis. It is trying to opine, but one is trying to draw on whatever one knows.
Is it really that speculative? If you said no, I would follow.
But this is clear. This is clear evidence. But still, people might say that this is an opinion, since I don't know for sure, right? But it is based on logic, and it is based on evidence that one is trying to draw on. The other thing is that in the time of the Khilafat of Imam Ali alayhi salam, which was roughly about just under
4 years.
Yes, 4.5 years or so. He did not. He fought defensive wars. We have Jamal, we have Siffin, we have Naharwan, but there is no indication that he actually did envisage or declare that he would have fought an expansionist war. So clearly, the expansionist war was certainly something that was not manifested in his actions or in his intentions, in his words. So we get two things. First of all, his clear approach that he declared in Shura, that he will follow the Holy Prophets, the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophets in his own judgment. And the second thing is that he did not take the approach of expansion in his own time. Also, he was very much concerned about justice in society. And we find that we find that incidents of his brother Aqil coming to him and saying that, can you increase my share of Baitul Mal, provision, my share of distribution of Baitul Mal. And Imam Ali gives him a taste of fire. And he says, from a candle. And he says, why did you do that? He said, are you not able to bear this? You're asking me to bear the fire of Jahannam. So he had a very, very acute and a very fine sense of justice, a very absolute sense of justice in society. So we find that there are many things that the Imam did in his own period of Khilafat. He set up administration, he set up certain types of systems for distribution of wealth. He set up system of appointment of governorship. So we find that he was striving to achieve justice in society, and that he led a very simple life himself. He said he wants to lead a life which is lower than that of the most poor people, the poorest person in society. So he had this sense of distribution of wealth, distribution of resources. So we find his approach more about reforming the society. His approach is about how to make the society perfect in terms of, in all aspects, in terms of education, in terms of sciences, in terms of language, in terms of poetry, in terms of having an army. He said he went for an army, but not a mercenary army. A volunteer army, but not a mercenary army, on the basis that was the best thing for society. And clearly, if you had a volunteer army, there is a certain feeling that people have of belonging to the society, as opposed to mercenary army, which doesn't have any connection with the society with which they are, interacting. So all that seems to suggest to me that his approach would have been different. Clearly, in relation to what was happening at the time of the Holy Prophet's death, which is false claims of prophethood that was taking place, he would have taken clearly an approach that would have sought to fight those kinds of movements taking place. What we should also bear in mind that there were some instances, certainly, in the time of Hazrat Abu Bakr in his Khilafat, where the people refused to pay the dues. Not because they refused to pay the dues absolutely, simpliciter. They refused to pay the dues on the basis that they were not being claimed by the people who are rightful. And some of the fights against them took place, and we have many instances of this taking place, where those people were actually were jumbled. They were all lumped together, grouped together with these Riza wars. Those who rejected authority, simpliciter, and those who rejected authority of the present Khalifa, as opposed to implying and on the basis that they would have accepted
so
Imam.
They were not denouncing Islam. They had maybe a problem with the authority and the succession. They had a problem with the succession of the Holy Prophet. Now all that in history is lumped together as Riza wars, and all those people who refused are being treated. We're treated as virtually people apostates. So you get that. So I think there are ways in which you can look at history. Sure. Sure. And I suppose as well, with regards to this, because he went on to say that all four are the same, and he would have done exactly the same as the first caliph. We just need to look at a prime example for the issue of who he would appoint as governor. Why did he go to war with Muawiyah in the first place? Wasn't it not because of the case that when he became the caliph, he decided that he should not be the governor over Syria and Sham any longer? He wanted to appoint somebody else who would, of course, would have been more just to the people of Sham. I mean, this would be a prime example, wouldn't it?
Exactly, that's right. I mean, one of the first things he did when he took over the reins of Khilafat was he dismissed all the corrupt governors and replaced them. He was being advised that he should not do so from a purely strategic diplomatic point of view, because he is going to lose support and they are going to turn to be his enemies. In fact, the governor who took the camel al-Askar, which was part of Baitul Mal, which was given which is part of the treasury, he took that Askar to the Battle of Jamal, and he joined with those people who fought against Imam Ali in Jamal. The governor was sacked. So you have instances. Clearly, if you want to compare what Imam Ali would have done, he would certainly not have tolerated Muawiyah as a governor. And Muawiyah as a governor was tolerated by by so many caliphs. You know, you have certainly Hazrat Osman and Hazrat Omar tolerating him as a governor, despite what is known in history.